Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queens Public Library's Explore with QPL, Back to School. I'm Miss Ashley from the Hillcrest Library. QPL is open for to-go service, which is to pick up and return materials at several locations. And you can find those locations and learn more at thequeenslibrary.org. It's back to school time and library card sign-up month in the month of September. For tips on helping your child adjust to wearing a mask, resources at QPL, health tips, and more, please visit our blog. If you're interested in finding other virtual QPL programs or accessing our digital materials, including information on how to get an e-card, which we're going to be going over today, and how to be counted in this year's census, or to make a donation to support the library, please visit queenslibrary.org. Without an accurate count of children, your community may build fewer resources for children, such as schools, libraries, and hospitals. Make sure your children and babies are counted by September 30th. Only about half of New York City's children have been counted so far, and don't be left out. Go to my2020census.gov to respond now or call 844-330-2020. Again, you can fill out your census by going to my2020census.gov or call 844-330-2020. So what we're going to be doing today is going over how to fill out the application for a Queens Public Library e-card on the Queens Library website. And then we're going to be going into the Power Knowledge databases. So we're going to be going into Earth and Space Science and then Life Science. For Earth and Space Science, I'm going to get some suggestions for you all about what topic we should look at. I think maybe we'll look at the seasons and signs that fall is starting. And then also we're going to play a game. I'll save that for later though. It can be a surprise. And then we're going to be going into the Power Knowledge Life Sciences, where we're going to be learning a little bit about endangered species. We're going to focus on extinct species today. I think we're going to focus on dinosaurs, because then we're going to be playing a paleontology game where we're actually going to dig like real paleontologists. Think about the very beginning of the first Jurassic Park movie. So to get us started, we are going to go to get an e-card on the Queens Public Library website. So to get to the library website, the first thing you're going to do is go up here, type in queenslibrary.org into your browser. When you get to the library website, right here in bright orange is Get an e-card, right here. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. So it says get a library card, apply for an e-card. So an e-card is a little bit different than a regular library card, because an e-card lets you access our electronic books, electronic audiobooks, digital magazines, and our research databases. It doesn't let you borrow items in person. But if you want to borrow books or DVDs or magazines in person, all you have to do is have your e-card number after it comes to your parents' email address. You're going to take that e-card number that you're given, come in with your parent or guardian. They need their photo ID. And if you show that information to the person at the checkout desk, they're going to be able to get you a real library card physically. So an actual card, one that looks kind of like this. And then you're going to be able to check out books and DVDs in person. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to type in our name. I'm going to type in my first name. I'm going to type in my last name. And then I'm going to go down to birthday. I'm going to type in my birthday. And then I'm going to type in an email address. So I'm going to type in my Queens Library email address. Whoop. There we go. And then I'm going to give in my phone number. I'm not going to give in my phone number, I've decided. I think I'm just going to go by email. And then it says, do you live, work, or go to school or own property in New York State? So you might not own a house or an apartment or wherever you live, but your parents or your guardians might. So you're going to say you live, work, or go to school, which you do. in New York State. So you're going to click yes. And then you're going to make sure that the computer knows you're a real person and you're not a robot trying to get a fake library card. So you're going to click I'm not a robot. And then continue to the next step. Then it's going to ask for your home address. I'm going to start typing in my address. Here we go. And my zip code. So I'm going to make sure everything's correct. I'm going to put in that dash right there for my address. And then I'm going to agree to notifying Queens Library if my address changes. So if I move to a different street, if I move to a different town, if I move somewhere different in New York State, I'm going to go ahead and let the library know, because if the library needs to send me a letter, I need to be able to get it. So I'm going to say, I agree to notify Queens Library if my address changes. So I'm going to continue to the next step. Let's see. Do you want to keep track of the materials you borrow from Queens Library? So if you say no, the library isn't going to keep track if you borrow The Dork Diaries, Volume 1, or if you borrow Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or if you borrow Captain Underpants. But if you want to be able to keep track of what you read last time you visited the library, or last month, or last year, you're going to click yes. So I'm going to click yes. If you would prefer to check out materials in a language other than English. So do you speak another language? I only speak English, but maybe you speak Chinese, or maybe you speak French, or maybe you speak Hebrew, or Hindi, or Italian. You can click whichever language that you speak other than English, and it's going to be able to give you resources that are in those languages. So I'm going to go ahead and click just English because I don't speak another language. And what is your home library? So I work at the Hillcrest Library, so I'm going to go and select that library. You can find out which library you belong to by going on someplace like Google Maps, and you can figure out which is the closest library to you, or you can call the telephone reference for queenslibrary.org and they'll be able to help you figure it out. So I'm going to say continue to next step. Let's see. So it has all my information. I'm going to make sure it's correct. Yes. I am going to agree to be responsible for any materials checked out with my Queens Public Library card. Yes. That means if you borrow a book, or you borrow a DVD, or if you borrow a magazine, or anything else from the library, it is your job to make sure it goes back to the library on time. If you don't return things to the library on time, you're going to get fines on your account and you're going to have to pay it. Your parents are not going to be very happy. So we're going to go ahead and select I agree to notify the Queens Library if my library card is stolen or if it's lost. Because if your card is stolen or lost, somebody else can use it and we don't want that. So I'm going to check that too. And then I'm going to agree to the library's privacy policy. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. And then I should be getting an email to that email account I gave them with my brand new Queens Library online account. So they're going to email my account number and PIN to the email address that I've given them right here. And it says to get a physical card and full access to everything, go to any Queens Public Library branch that is open for to-go service right now with your proof of identity and your New York address. So you would go, if you're under the age of 12, you would go with your parent or your guardian, whoever you live with, and they need to make sure they have those two things. If you want to find out what they need to have, if you're a little bit unsure, you can click right here and it's going to give you all of this information to tell you what you can use and what you can't use. So now that we're done getting our e-card, which remember, lets us go onto our databases, we are going to check out our first for the day, which is Power, Knowledge, Earth, and Space Science. So the first thing we're going to do is up here where it says Research. It's one of the main things that's always on the top of the page for the library. So you're going to click Research. And then if we do that, We see there's things called special collections, research databases, government documents, local history, interlibrary loan, Queens demographics. The one that we want is research databases. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And what we want is something called power knowledge. Right now, they're in total alphabetical order. So I'm just going to scroll past the A's, the B's, all the way down to the P's for my power knowledge, earth and space science. So I'm going to search within database. If I click there, it's going to bring me to the Power Knowledge website. Let's see. Let me get in there. Here we go. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to see power knowledge, earth and space science. We're going to be able to scroll down and see all these things on the side. But in order to get access to it, you have to type in your library card number. So if we go up here, sorry about that, guys. Where it says library card login at the top, we're going to go ahead and click on that. So now it's going to ask me to please put in my library card number. So I'm going to type in my library card number. And when I do that, I'm logged in now. So that means I can click on whatever I want. So we see Earth cycles, ecosystems and biomes, energy and matter, landforms, maps, natural disasters, rocks and minerals, Save Our Earth, scientific methods, space, water, weather and climate. There's science fair projects and experiments, which I'll show you later. So if you have a science fair at school or if you have to do a science experiment, that is going to give you a bunch of cool ideas for what to do. There's also games. But the first thing I want to do is over here where it says brain teasers. There's always going to be a question here that's going to, you click on it and it'll give you the correct answer. So what I'm going to say is, what are metamorphic rocks whose minerals form bands called? The options are foliated, fossilized, igneous, and mineralized. If you have a guess, can you put it in the comments? I'm going to give you guys a chance to think about it and answer. Does anybody have a guess? Foliated, fossilized, igneous, or mineralized? Okay, we are going to guess foliated. And correct! Good job! Brain teaser results. Metamorphic rocks form when heat and pressure deep inside the earth make the minerals in rocks change. Sometimes pressure forces the minerals into metamorphic rocks into bands or stripes. Metamorphic rocks whose minerals form bands are called foliated rocks. And we can find out more about identifying rocks. Do you guys want to learn more about identifying rocks? Or do we want to learn about the seasons? Put a comment and tell me what you'd rather do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and find out more about identifying rocks. So, identifying rocks. Look at all these sections that are here on the side. It gives you all the different parts of this article. So we can learn about starting a rock collection. We can learn about matching rocks. We can learn about recognizing minerals. Oh, that sounds fun. Let's do that one. Recognizing minerals. And it tells you all about how to recognize minerals and how scientists do their job when they're trying to figure out what type of rocks things are. And if you go down here, this is the thing that your teachers are really going to like. If you get information from somewhere, you have to tell them where you got the information from. Because if you don't say, oh, I got it from this book or I got it from this website, they're going to say, well, maybe you just made it up. And you want them to know that you did a really good job and you did your research and you make sure that what you're telling them is true. So down here where it says article citation and MLA, you're going to go ahead and this is where you can show your teacher. If you copy this down, this shows your teacher exactly where you got the information and how they know that the information that you're telling them is correct, which is super fun. But I think maybe what we'll do is we'll go back to the beginning. So there's earth cycles, ecosystems and biomes, energy matter. There's all these different things. But I think maybe what we'll do is we'll learn about earth cycles. And then, look, there's all these things about the rock cycle, water cycles, carbon cycles, atmospheres. But it's September. And what happens in the middle of September? The seasons are going to change, right? It's going to go from being summer to being fall. So down here, it talks about all the different seasons and how Earth rotates and revolves around the sun and how that makes our seasons change here in the Northeast, right? So what do we know about summer? What's life like in summer? It's going to tell us that the butterflies and the bees are busy, and vegetable gardens and fruit trees and crops are growing quickly. People like to be outside. They like to go swimming. I love to go swimming. I love to go to the beach and the pool, playing baseball and having cookouts. Families often take vacations. Maybe not this year, but maybe you did. And while the children are out of school during the summer. And now that it's back to school, we're going to look at signs of fall. Let's see. So how do we know that it's changing from summer to fall? We know that it's changing from summer to fall by a few things. It's going to say we start to lean away from the sun. The sun rises later in the morning, so the sun comes up later, and it sets earlier each day, which means it gets dark sooner. The days are shorter. The sun doesn't go up as high in the sky, and it gets a little bit cooler. So fall officially begins around the middle of September. It's going to get a little colder. The beautiful leaves are going to start to change. And again, after our beautiful picture, it's going to show us how we got our information right here at the bottom. But now I think it's time for something a little bit more fun. Would you guys like to play a game? If you scroll all the way down here, there's games that we can play. So there's Cave Crusader, Expedition Bigfoot, Fossil Fever, and Space Ace. Do you guys have one that you'd rather play? Put it in the comments and we'll choose which one we're going to play. Let's see. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and do Space Ace. So Space Ace is like a memory matching game. That's going to teach us about the planets and space and the constellations, the moon, the stars. So do you think we need to play easy, medium, or hard? I'll wait for you guys to tell me in the comments. Easy? Okay, we're going to go play easy. So it's just like a mix and match game. You're going to click on one. Okay, what do we think that is? Good job, the sun. So if I click on here, that does not match. That's a sun and a rocket. So we're trying to match things. That's the sun, so we're going to pair it here to the sun tile. And it got us 76 points. So what's that, a meteor or an asteroid? Oh, but that's a satellite. That didn't match either. A comet. The moon. Oh, wow, I'm not doing really well. Can you guys tell me where to click? Okay, you want me to click on asteroid. And then where else? Over here? Over here? Over here. Oh, good job. Now we got a match. Let's keep playing. The moon. We definitely saw the moon before. Do you remember where? Over here? Over here? Over here. No. What about down here? No. That's a comet. Oh, we did see comet, though. We saw comet over here. Good job. Let's see. We have a rocket. We definitely saw a rocket. And we have a satellite. We saw a satellite down here. That means our last one must be the moon. Good job, guys. So we got 456 is our points. So it says 6 matches in 12 tries. We got about a 50% on our game. I think we can do a little bit better next time. Maybe if you play on your own, you can do better than me. If you do, I want you guys to comment back on the video later and tell me what you scored on your game. So we're going to go back all the way to the top and just show you one more thing before we switch to the other one. So if we go to Science Fair Projects and Experiments. So this is going to give you lots of ideas for science fair projects or just fun experiments to do while you're home. So it says you don't have to be heading to the science fair in order to explore Earth and space. Below, you'll find a list of experiments to try out. They will help you get hands-on land, sea, and air. Some are out of this world. So, what are you waiting for? Get started on your experiment today. Also,
see.
Can you guys hear that? When I clicked on something, when I clicked on the word see, do you see this little icon that popped up right here? It's going to read it out loud to you. So if you didn't know how to pronounce something, maybe you didn't know how to pronounce this word. If you click on it,
you don't have to be heading to the science fair in order to explore Earth and space. Below you'll find a list of experiments to try out. They will help you get hands-on with land, sea, and air. Some are out of this world. So, what are you waiting for? Get started on your experiment today.
Can you guys hear that? It'll read it out to you. So if you have a little bit trouble reading, or maybe if you're not able to see, or if you are just feeling a little lazy, you can highlight whatever you want and it'll read it to you, which is pretty cool. I like this one, exploring evaporation. So this is going to be a cool experiment either for school or just for fun. So it's talking about how water turns into a gas. So it gives you a question. It gives you something called background research, which is how to use different information resources. So like Power Knowledge or maybe a book you get from the library to learn about the water cycle and evaporation. Then you're going to form a hypothesis. It's going to prompt you with some materials that you're going to need for this, and then the instructions. They call it procedure. And it gives you all of the information you need to do this experiment, which is pretty cool because sometimes it's really hard to come up with an experiment all on your own. So now we're going to go back to the Queen's Library website. Hi, guys. We're going to go back to the Queen's Library website. And if we go here, remember where we scrolled all the way down to Power Knowledge, Earth and Space Science? We're going to go over to Power Knowledge, Life Science. We're going to go ahead and click on that one. Let's see. So if we click on this one, it's set up pretty similar to the last one, where it has the whole sidebar of information with all the different types of life science stuff. It's going to give us more science fair projects and experiments, but ones that are more like biology. And then it's going to give us more games, which we're going to get into later. But the first thing we have to do is we have to log in. So up here, it would say, put in your library card, but since we already did that on the other website, we don't need to do that again. So the first thing we're going to do is, I think we're going to talk about endangered and extinct species because we're going to be playing a game about dinosaur fossils. Does anybody know what a scientist that studies dinosaurs is called? If you do, can you put it in the comments? I'll wait just a second for you to think really hard. Did somebody say paleontologist? That is exactly what somebody that studies dinosaurs is called. So we're going to go into endangered and extinct species. 1 second. Let's see. I have to put in my library card number again, but that's a secret. I don't need to share that. Here we go. So if we go back, we're going to go to endangered and extinct species, and we're going to look at dinosaurs and fossils. So does anybody have a favorite dinosaur that they can tell me? We have an Allosaurus, an Ankylosaurus, a Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus. There's fossils. Maybe we want to learn about a Stegosaurus or a Triceratops. We could go with a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a Velociraptor. I think we're going to go into Velociraptor, though. That's one of my favorites. So, it says, meet the Velociraptor. The Velociraptor was small, quick, and two-footed. It had a sharp claw on its foot to help it kill its prey. But I see a video over here. I wonder what that is. Let's click on it.
Scientists think that velociraptors had feathers like modern birds.
Can you guys hear that? It said scientists think that velociraptors had feathers like modern birds. This isn't a real video, but it's a pretty good guess based on what we know. So remember I said that word paleontologists? People who study things that live in the past. Paleontologists have learned these facts and more by studying velociraptor fossils. So even though dinosaurs have been extinct for millions of years, its fossils give scientists clues about its life. And these clues help scientists come up with theories or ideas about what the velociraptor ate, how it lived, and how it died. So remember that thing that I said was really important at the bottom? Does anybody remember what that is? Good job. It's showing your teacher where you got that information, right? We call that a citation at the library. So down here, it's going to tell your teacher exactly where you got that information. So you want to make sure you tell them that. But over here on the side, that's just the beginning of the stuff we can learn about velociraptors. We can learn about the time period that they lived in. We can learn about its body. It was only 3 feet tall. Did you know that? I thought they were way taller. We can also learn that it hunted in packs. And we can maybe learn a few new words. So did you know the word carnivore? An animal that eats other animals? I didn't know that word before. And remember that word that we talked about, paleontologists? We can have them read it if you can hear.
Paleontologists, people who study things that lived in the past.
Thank you. That was so helpful. So now that we've learned a little bit about velociraptors and a little bit about paleontologists, we're going to get to the fun stuff, which is our Fossil Fever game. So this is the last game we're going to be playing today, and I really need your help when it comes to deciding where to dig. So Fossil Fever says, search the dig site for fossil pieces. Put together all the pieces to discover what kind of fossil you found. So do you think we should do easy, medium, or hard? You want to do easy again? Okay, we'll do easy. So it says, welcome to the dig site. The museum needs a fossil for its new display. Try to find all the fossil pieces and put them together. The quicker we can deliver the fossil, the more money we'll get, probably from the museum. So grab your shovel and start digging. Let's go. Some of our tools were buried in the landslide. If you find them, you'll be able to work even faster. And I think something might be buried right here. So we're going to use our shovel up here. We're going to go and we're going to dig. Keep digging. And it says you can dig up to 3 layers. So that was the first layer, right? You can tell by the color. And there's layer number 2 and layer number 3. Layers are called strata when it comes to digging for archaeology and paleontology. So we're going to dig again. Oh, and it says nice work. Click to collect the item. So we're going to click. And it says we found an X-ray scanner. It's going to blink green if there's items nearby. So let's use that. Oh, okay. It says there's something else nearby. Let's keep digging. Oh, we found a rock, but we also found a fossil piece. So we can see it here. And when we have all the pieces, we can put our fossil together. Let's go back, though. We're going to use... Oh, it says that there's something else here still. Just another rock. Let's see if there's anything else. It says there are. The radar scanner will show the location of items nearby. It will blink blue to show where items are located. So we found another fossil. And we found our radar scanner. So we're going to use our radar scanner next. It's going to show us all, did you see that? All the places that lit up blue are places that have fossils. Oh, okay. It says it looked like this animal walked on 4 legs. So we can maybe see its ribs, its backbone, maybe a couple legs here and here. Let's keep digging and find out. Oh, these animals' back would have been covered with spiky armor. I know a dinosaur that was covered in spiky armor. Can you tell me which one you think it might be? It says it was a big animal, and it was over 30 feet or 9 meters long. Do you guys have any guesses? It says this big fat tail would come in handy as defense against predators. Do you guys have any guess? Oh, it seems like somebody thinks that they know. Let's keep digging and find out. Oh, just another rock. But it looks like there's one right here. Maybe. These bones are about 65 million years old and from the late Cretaceous period. Hey, that was the same period that the Velociraptor lived in. And it says this looks like the mouth of a plant eater. Do you guys have any guesses? It had spikes. It was over 9 meters long, and it's a plant eater. Any good ideas? Let's see where else we need to dig. Oh, wow. Well, these big feet would be needed to support such a big animal, so it had big feet. I think this is the tip of a big tail. I'm going to keep digging. So I'm going to say my guess. My guess is an Ankylosaurus. Oh, but it says we found a tractor key. Now I can start the tractor and dig 4 dirt squares at once. Let's see. We'll just finish with our shovel. But we're going to click on our tractor key. And we're going to click. And it's going to dig a little bit for us. But we can't use it that much. We have to keep digging with our shovel until it starts up again. Oh, we found another rock. And dynamite. You can use dynamite to blast away large areas of dirt, but you have to be patient. Oh, I think we better be pretty careful with that one. That one looks serious. Where else might we find something? I'm going to use the tractor again. Maybe the shovel one more time. Oh, it says we found a fossil piece. If you can put this together with the other fossil pieces, we might be able to figure out what kind of fossil it is. So let's keep digging. Or, oh, I think we have all our fossils together. So I'm going to start with the head. And then what comes after the head? A foot? No. A tail? No. Maybe a backbone. We'll start there. Oh, do these fit together? No, that doesn't look right. Maybe there. That's my guess. But it looks like these fit together pretty good. And then, if you clip it together, and it belongs together, it stays together, which is really nice. And then I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to guess that there's another one here. Oh, that's not right. You see it didn't click together. Maybe over here. No, not a foot under the head. I'll put it back because I'm not sure. What about here? No, that's not right. What about here? Oh, we got another one. And then maybe here. Okay, we got 1, 2 feet. What about here, maybe? No? What about here? What about here? Oh, that one worked. Only 4 more to go. Let's see. That one. Cool. You know, guys, I think it looks like we're missing a piece. We're missing one fossil. We have to go back to dig. Let's use our radar to find something. Okay, we're going to use our tractor. Oh, that's a rock. Let's use our radar again. We have one more thing up here. Maybe that's it. I don't want it to be another. Oh, it's just a rock. What about right here? This might be our last piece. Oh, no. Oh, we can go one layer deeper. And it looks like that's our last fossil. Let's find out what it is. It's an Ankylosaurus. It has an armored body. It's an herbivore. It lived 65 million years ago. It had a big club tail. It walked on 4 legs. And will you get paid by the museum? Let's see how much the museum is going to pay us for it. It's going to pay us $5,725 fake dollars. So it's going to give us all the information, their best guess of what an Ankylosaurus looked like, and then we could play again and find different fossils. But for today, we're going to go back here, back to our Power Knowledge home. We're going to play one more brain teaser. How long is a giraffe's tongue? 5 inches? 10 inches? 15 inches? That's my guess. Or 20 inches. Let's do 20. Oh, that's correct. A giraffe's tongue is up to 20 inches long, and it's bluish black. A giraffe can wrap its long tongue around branches, and we can learn more about animal tongues. But that's all we have time for today. I want to tell you guys quickly. Oh, it looks like we have a question. Okay, so quickly we're going to answer a question from Marlene. So it says, how can I see books for children? What we're going to do is, if we close out of our Power Knowledge database, and if we go to our Queen's Library website again, if we scroll up towards the top, and then we go to Books, Movies, and More over here, we can go to Digital Media Services over here, and then you can see Explore Digital Media Services, ebooks, e-magazines, streaming music, but really what we want is ebooks for children, right, Marlene? So we're going to go into here, and it's going to give us the couple places that we can use our library card to get books. So Tumble Books is actually going to be a database that's covered by one of our other librarians later in the series. But one of my favorites is Overdrive. So we can use Overdrive or we can use Access 360, and it has apps for Apple and for Android, or you can access it from your web browser on your computer. One more thing I want to go over today. Here we go. Let's see. Is how to find out what we're doing next. So if we go to our calendar, let's see. You see all these things that are going on at the library, right? If we go over to a date, we know that next Tuesday, something's going on for kids. which one am I looking for? I'm looking for Explore Britannica School with QPL, back to school with Miss Leia, the children's librarian at Hillcrest. So this is where we're going to go to find all the other things that are happening for you at the library right now. You can go and search by date. You can search by your audience, so you can say adults or kids. You can say what type of program. So do you want it to be a children's program, an adult program? And you can say calendar. So the last thing I want to talk about is next week, Miss Leia is going to be exploring Britannica School, same as how I did today, but doing something a little bit different with kids in elementary and middle school. It's going to tell you how to navigate the databases to view articles, photos, videos, and other resources of every subject line that they could think of. Then later in the month, on September 22nd, we're going to have Miss Angela from the Flushing Library that's going to give an introduction to BrainFuse, which is an online learning platform available for free through the Queen's Library website. It's going to give you free live online tutoring, essay writing, test prep, and much more. It's going to be a second part with Miss Jo on September 29th. We're going to be doing interactive portions of BrainFuse Part 2, where she's going to go over how you can find the live tutoring, get feedback on writing assignments, and find all the answers to any question you might have. On October 13th, Miss Jo is going to go over World Book to learn more about Indigenous Peoples Day. She's going to go over how to use the database for your studies and showcase research techniques. And then on October 22nd, Miss Jo is going to be here for Tumble Books to help plan your Halloween celebrations. She's going to go over the fun and interactive parts of the databases while also helping us find the perfect Halloween costume and related books. So this is the end of our program, guys. If you have any other questions, please comment in the video and then someone will answer your question if I don't get to it today. But I really hope you enjoyed being here with us. I enjoyed playing these games and showing you these databases. And remember, September is Library Card Registration Month. Make sure you, your family, your friends, anybody that lives in New York State can get a Queens Public Library card. So go ahead and sign up, and we look forward to helping you. Thank you guys so much, and have a good night.